In this video, we're going to be talking about making your 11 Labs voice agents multilingual. I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to create a multilingual assistant, add different languages, set up correct voices for each agent, as well as run you through a real demo. So 11 Labs and their voice agents really killed it with those multilingual conversational agents. You can read more about this on their website, or you can go ahead and visit their docs. The docs have pretty great directions on how to set up those multilingual agents, but what I wanted to do today was actually walk you through how to do this for yourself and personally show you how I did it. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Azim. I run a voice agency called Inspire AI, and we've helped various businesses, from insurance agencies to financial groups, use voice agents to grow their business. If you're a business owner and you're exploring voice agents for your business, feel free to book an intro chat with me using the calendar link in the description. And we're actually running a crazy offer with the first 3 business owners to book into our calendar will qualify for a free AI audit of their business and receive a complete 90-day step-by-step roadmap to how they can transform their business with AI. And now, let's get straight into the video. So this is going to essentially be a language tutor. It's able to speak multiple languages. So to not overcomplicate this, I've just added German and French as languages besides English, but there are many other languages that you can explore. So you have languages like Croatian, Filipino, as well as Turkish, and you even have variations of languages. So Brazil and Portugal have their separate Portuguese languages. And overall, it's just something that allows you a great deal of customization. So if you want to walk through this tutorial step by step with me, you can go ahead and get this prompt for completely free inside of my school community. The link for it is also down below. I have a bunch of resources in there, and I have a bunch of free courses coming soon if they're not already there by the time you're watching this video. So you have absolutely no reason to miss out on this. And for the rest of the steps, you can follow what I'm doing. So in my prompt, which is really not too complex, I give it some simple directions on how to use its languages. So for example, here, I said that it begins every session in English and then can switch fluently to German or French when the learner requests or starts speaking in that language. In the context, I once again go ahead and tell it what the supported languages are, and then I give it some examples, and overall, it's just very simple. But what I really want to draw attention to is how to actually add those different languages and voices. So on default, my agent language is English. You can feel free to change this, and then for the additional languages, I've obviously added German and French, as I said, but you can feel free to add any of the languages here. For the model, I would suggest that you actually set this to something like GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini. Those are pretty good for those multilingual cases. For the reasoning effort, you can set this to low. It might need some time to realize that it should be speaking in a certain language. And then in the tools, what you really want to turn on, without this tool, the agent has a much harder time of talking to people in different languages. So you should really be turning that on. Anyway, once you've set up everything in this agent section, we're then going to navigate to the voice section. By default, I have an American English voice. It's called Liam. And then I also have 2 more voices down here in the multi-voice support section. For each voice, what you would go ahead and do is just add a label, select some settings like the voice you want to choose. And then for the description, it's very simple. You just tell it this voice should be used whenever a call begins to speak in X language. Then you just go ahead and save all of your changes. And the way you select custom voices for the setup is you would go to this voice section, and what it has by default here is usually English voices, but the way you can go ahead and find more voices, like European voices, for example, is you would click on this Find More Voices section. And so let me click on that. And then over here, you can actually search the huge library of voices they have. So if I wanted to search for Italian, for example, I can go ahead and do that. And then over here, I'm just going to see that there are a bunch of Italian voices that I can choose from. Feel free to play around with these, choose what suits you best. But once you're done, and once you've selected the voice over here, feel free to play around with these voices. Once you've decided on a voice that you like, you have to go ahead over here and click on this plus sign. So if I wanted to add Marco Trotz, I'd go ahead and click on this plus sign so it saves the voices inside of my preferences. And then after you're back on the screen, you would just go ahead and add a voice. Once you click on this voice section, you should see the voice that you selected and added pop up somewhere here. If not, just go ahead and search for it. It's going to be there. But after that, just go ahead and label it, attach a description, and you're pretty much good to go. Of course, if you want to, you can always keep the same voice, but oftentimes those specialized voices tend to be far better than just a universal one. So once you've gone ahead and set everything up, you're just going to save your changes in the bottom right corner. And after that, you're all good to go. So from here, why don't we go ahead and test these agents out? So now I'm going to go ahead and call it. First, I'm going to talk in English, see how it goes ahead and does that. And then I'm going to switch to German, and then I'm going to switch to French.
Hello, this is Lingua, your language tutor. What are we doing today?
Hey, Lingua. So I was thinking of learning French today.
Perfect. I can see you're excited to learn French. Let me switch to French for our session. C'est vraiment une belle langue. Avant de commencer, est-ce que tu peux me dire quel est ton niveau actuel? Tu es débutant, intermédiaire ou avancé? Et quel est ton objectif principal? Conversation pratique, prononciation, grammaire ou vocabulaire?
Oui, je suis débutant. Je voudrais améliorer ma conversation, je pense.
Parfait. Pour un débutant, on va bien commencer doucement. Parlons un peu aujourd'hui. Bonjour, comment ça va? Je sais que c'est peut-être difficile au début, mais ne t'inquiète pas. On va prendre notre temps et parler doucement. Réponse simplement. Ça va bien.
That's enough now. I'm good.
Great. You did well with those basic French greetings. For a beginner, you picked it up quickly. That's fantastic progress. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Maybe another language topic, or perhaps you have questions about French that I can address?
Ich möchte Deutsch lernen.
Perfekt. Wir können jetzt auf Deutsch fortfahren. Deutsch ist eine interessante Sprache mit einer sehr klaren Struktur. Vorher wollte ich noch fragen, welches Niveau haben Sie? Anfänger, Fortgeschrittene oder Profi? Und was ist Ihr Hauptziel? Konversationspraxis, Aussprache, Grammatik oder Wortschatz?
Ich bin Anfänger. Ich möchte sprechen. Das ist alles.
Ausgezeichnet. Als Anfänger können wir mit einfachen Gesprächen beginnen. Keine Sorge, wir nehmen es langsam und üben zusammen.
Guten Tag. Wie geht es Ihnen?
Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help you get started with your German practice.
So I was just out there. It was completely smooth. I started in English. Then I asked it that I want to practice my French today. And then it actually spoke two languages in one go. It told me that it would switch over to French and English. And then it carried on in French. And then even when I was speaking French, and then I started speaking German all of a sudden, it went ahead and switched to German without any difficulty. But I hope now you can see how 11 Labs is just so powerful. The multilingual setup is incredible. You saw me speak 3 languages in one session there. And you can have 5, 7, or 10 languages assigned to one agent, because it's really about how creative you are. I hope you found this short tutorial helpful. You can join my school community for more resources, as well as a free course that I'm creating, or created if you're watching this video a few months from now. But once again, if you're a business owner and you're looking for a multilingual setup, or just a voice agent overall, feel free to get in touch with me using the link in the description. We are offering those 3 spots for free AI audits, so make sure you grab your spot before somebody else does. Once again, all links and details are in the description. That's it from my end. Thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.